A problem with the finance industry is the lack of demystifying investing, and evidence of this can be found with the lack of Americans owning brokerage accounts.
What we did was we crafted language that was so obscure, so confusing, so uninformative.
The stock market is a great instrument to grow your wealth, so it's a shame that more people do not participate.
That's it. That is a new closing high for the S&P 500.
As a provider of investment information, rather than bombarding you with complicated and unorganized information like our peers, Fincuity believes that it is our responsibility to deliver you a finished, refined investment tool that you can actually use. We see our business similar to a restaurant. Instead of simply providing you ingredients, we aim to provide you with an immediate usable good. It's not as if other investing products are insignificant. However, everyone doesn't have the time, expertise, or interest to meticulously examine hundreds of companies. This disconnect between the stock market and the majority of individuals is a dire issue, an issue that Fincuity hopes to solve by providing smart information.
The problem today is that inequality is at its highest that it has been probably ever. And we have the greatest inequality in the developed world and the greatest immobility of our society.
The number one driving force of the stock market is quarterly earnings. Thus, if you want to increase your financial acuity in the stock market, it is crucial to understand how financial results affect companies. Being able to easily comprehend earnings is accomplishable through Fincuity. Immediately, you will notice that Fincuity is not similar to other investment products, such as the number of stocks posted, or the amount of data. So why is this? As you probably noticed, Fincuity is on Umbra Fund's website, and not its own. This is because all of the stocks posted on Fincuity are all possible investments analyzed for Umbra Fund. Something else you may have noticed is that the amount of data is different compared to other sites. That is because none of the data on Fincuity is disposable. We do not want to offer an investment product that contains ineffective information. This product aims to present useful information in a clean and transparent format. This tutorial will give you a prompt overview of Fincuity. We strive to provide you with an impeccable product that assists you in developing your financial acuity. When opening a stock, you will initially be presented with the stock's homepage. On the stock homepage, you will first see an overview of the company, such as the company's name, and a brief description or motto of the company. Immediately you will be presented with the power ranking, which illustrates how a particular stock stacks up with the additional stocks posted on Fincuity. Power rankings are a common instrument within sports to rank teams against one another, and Fincuity does that with stocks. There are a plethora of stocks, so we included the power ranking system to eliminate the feeling of being overwhelmed. Along with the power ranking, you will see how much the stock has risen over a set period. This is a good way to see a stock's immediate worth, which will be elaborated further in the results square. The number of employees at the company, and how long the company has been in business are also included. These are decent measures of a company's sustainability. Directly below the aforementioned information, you will find a colored bar. This is the company's Fincuity rating. The Fincuity rating gives each company an idiosyncratic rating based on its data. The Fincuity rating is color-based and advances from red, adjourned; pink, inadequate; yellow, adequate; and finally green, exceptional. The justification for each rating is based on the company's data and is explained in the video protocol underneath each rating. These sophisticated protocols expeditiously summarize the stock's data. Let's scroll down the stock homepage to discover more. Here you will notice the company's industry and sector. These are important to note for cross-analyzation. Stocks will usually adhere to the movement of their peers, so when looking to invest in one company, it's pivotal to monitor their peers. Each stock's homepage is also provided with financials, a chart, a countdown to the subsequent earnings release, and a Twitter feed. This information is incorporated to keep you in tune with all of the stock's current data. Now, let's scroll back up to examine the most important tool of Fincuity, the Fincuity 4. The Fincuity 4 highlights the pivotal information for quarterly financial results. Through the Fincuity 4, you will have access to varied examinations concerning earnings. These squares are separate but are intended to be used in conjunction with one another. First, is the earnings square. This square covers the probability of earnings results. The earnings analyzed extends back to 2010. From this square, you will be able to see how often the company beats or misses on earnings per share and revenue. Future events can be linked to historical data. Using previous earnings are not a certain barometer for what's to come, but understanding the past helps to demystify the unknown.
Mark Twain has got a great quote, which is, history never repeats itself, but it rhymes.
This square also indicates whether particular earnings will incite favorable or negative movement. The terms favorable and negative are subjective and are determined through a meticulous analysis of each quarterly financial result released by a stock since Q1 of 2010. It's important to indicate what earnings are favorable or negative because a company may beat or miss the consensus estimate, but it won't necessarily guarantee a rise or a decline.
It was a beat on the top and bottom lines, although the stock is falling.
The significance square is arguably the most important because it details the subsequent outcomes from earning results. Certain stocks fluctuate in price significantly within seconds due to earnings. This is information that should be ubiquitous. Unfortunately, it is not.
The company's stock sank as much as 24% in after-hours trading yesterday. That fall wiped out roughly $150 billion of its market value.
Naivete in investing can be financially devastating. With Fincuity, you're able to gauge the significance of quarterly financial results by viewing the stock's price movement on its earnings date. The 10-day and quarter movement after earnings is also integrated to view the long-term effect of quarterly financial results. The price point square is critical because it serves as a tool that illustrates how a stock reacts to earnings when it is at a particular price point upon its release. This square adds an important variable to the significance square, because the averages may change primarily due to its price point.
Apple hitting a fresh all-time high today on the back of a Morgan Stanley price target hike.
The 52-week is gauged by the percentage to, not from, the 52-week high and low from the day before the quarterly financial results are released. This is added because it's far too rudimentary to see stocks as overpriced or cheap. These are ubiquitous terms that cannot be generally applied to stocks. With this data, the faithfulness of a stock adhering to the concept of being overpriced or cheap is determined. Lastly is the result square. This square is the simplest among the Fincuity 4, yet extremely important. This square connects all of the information by presenting a prompt representation of the potential risk and profit throughout the past couple of years. You can quickly see how a possible investment in a company would have turned out, and compare those results to the most popular benchmark, the S&P 500. If you are unsure where to start, simply click on the Stocks tab and check out Fincuity's featured stocks. There is no one way to use Fincuity. Incorporate it into your strategy as you see fit. Thank you for joining Fincuity.